welcome to the Rules and Open Government Committee meeting for, what's today's date? May 31st. We will get started first. We have the agenda for the June 6th meeting. Oh, roll call. Sorry, we're doing roll call. See, I'm so discombobulated by the new system. I don't remember what's going on here.
Davis.
Here.
Jimenez.
Present.
Foley.
Here.
Cohen.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Yeah, use that. All right. So we'll start with the review of the June 6th council meeting. It's noticed to begin at closed session at 9 a.m., regular session at 11 a.m., but time certain for ceremonial items at 1:30.
Excellent.
So we are on consent, pages 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17. Section 3, we have employee travel expenses audit report, and then we have an agreement with the Park Ranger Association. You'll notice on the ad sheet there's agreements with 2 other bargaining units that we're going to add. We have to also approve a sunshine waiver for those 3 items, so the maker of the motion can include that. And then Section 4, the IPA year-end report, and the Police Department Internal Affairs Unit report. Section 5, airport improvements. Section 6, we have sewer, and then we have garbage recycling and water rates. Those are both noticed to not be heard before 1:30 p.m. Section 8, public hearing in Japantown Business Improvement District, also noticed at 1:30 or later, along with the public hearing on the Downtown Business Improvement District at 8.2. 8.3 is a Pacific Motor Inn transfer, then an RV community support, an emergency interim housing report, 8.4, and then the Berryessa lease agreement, 8.5. We have a successor agency board hearing to be heard right after consent. And then we do have land use, which is just a consent item, I believe.
But not before 1:30.
Not heard before 1:30, right, but just a consent. All right, let's go to the public.
Blair?
Hi, Blair Beekman. Happy end of May, happy beginning of June. Big old June coming in. I wanted to comment on, you have a few items, you have many sewer items coming up. Boy, just good luck in addressing federal funding issues going on at this time. And a thank you that people like the housing department, they've been mentioning that they are trying in some ways to find housing for people along the creeks at this time. Good luck in those continued good efforts in that work. Boy, what it takes to do that. I hope we're all thinking about that and wanting to work on those kind of ways of thinking and working to house people along the creek, to talk to them, to offer conversation, and good luck in all those efforts. You have items, interestingly, coming up about police internal reporting, and I'll talk about that at public record time. You also have items about, I think, a home key program that I wanted to lump that into the work that you're doing. Thank you that you're going to be addressing recreational vehicles, community support parking, and interim housing. Boy, that is just so nice of you. I've been asking about that for a few weeks and months now at public comment time. You guys are really coming through. Thanks a lot. And about home key things, good luck that you are also working on a middle road of Measure E issues and the like, and that I really hope that we can consider housing. We have some really fundamental, basic, good things we can work on with housing, and good luck how we want to practice those things. And then we can talk about home key, and then we can talk about Mayor Mahan's ideas of temporary housing as well. Thanks for the agenda next week.
Back to the committee.
All right, thank you. Councilmember Foley?
Whoops. I even watched the tutorial and I still don't know what I'm doing over here. I have a question regarding the agenda on the 6th, and that is, we have a flag raising for Pride Month at 5 o'clock. So do we just, because the meeting is likely to continue on at that time, we just get up and leave at that point, council member?
So what normally happens, if I may, Chair? What normally happens is we'll just have a break, so there might be a recess. That flag raising takes about 30 minutes, so generally speaking, at least the former mayor would call a recess if we had a long meeting that day, and then everyone could go out, and then we would reconvene after the flag raising.
Okay, do we need to do anything with this agenda? No. Okay, then, thank you. Then I will move approval of the June 6th agenda, including the add-ons and the sunshine waiver.
Second.
Yeah, and I imagine we can just do like a dinner break for 1 hour at 5 to 6 that day. So
That'd be great.
Let's vote. Oh, go ahead, Councilmember Jimenez.
So, Mr. Jimenez, thank you.
I said Councilmember.
So what I would say is I think it's going to be important to relay that to the mayor, because given that he runs the meeting, so I'm not sure how that takes place, but I'm sure someone's watching. I don't know.
All right, let's vote. All right, motion carries 4-0.
Okay.
Now let's move on to the agenda on June 13th. This one is noticed for 9:30 closed session, 1:30 open session, although I think we want to have a conversation also about the timing of this meeting. Consent on pages 6, 7, 8, and 9. Under strategic support, we have a disability inclusion equity pledge. And then we have the mayor's June budget message, followed by the proposed changes to Measure E allocations. And then 3.6 is approval of the operating capital budgets for 23-24. Item 3.7, public hearing on liens. Public 3.8, the revision of the municipal code on election campaign. And then section 4.1, which will be heard with 10.3 on cannabis. And then section 6, a River Oak Stormwater Capture Project contract award. And then 8, Workforce Innovation Opportunity Act. And then we have 2 items on land use. One is property on Berryessa Road, and another is cannabis ordinance. So we'll go to public comment.
Blair?
Hi, Blair Beekman. To speak on item 2.7, macro cell for fee schedule and lease agreement for city-owned properties. It's my understanding macro cell is something kind of related to 5G and technology, broadband technology. And on your previous agenda that will be next week, you have items about, bicycle tech, public safety tech. So congratulations to the, Vision Zero bicycle safety people. But with that item and with this broadband item, both house ways that can offer a lot of surveillance tech. And just my usual reminder, we have to be clear with each other how we install this tech, if it's safe, and to give fair warning to people when we install it for the macro cell. and to simply have open public good policies for the technology that will be placed inside of it. I think there really can be a way that the tech that's placed inside can be accessible to everyday public. They can simply ask, and you can simply offer what's going on inside a macro cell in a local neighborhood. We couldn't ask those things 5 or 10 years ago. I think that's a great system to want to work towards in our future. Good luck how we can do that. It's a future of peace and open democracy, and it asks to really question the concepts of war and its secrecy. So good luck how to work in these good terms. I think it's really important for our future, for sustainability ideas. And congratulations that there's so much good work going on around disability things. That's also it's about 3.3 disability inclusion equity pledge. A real congratulations and a lot of efforts from a lot of people to get this thing through in San Jose. San Diego has really good examples of disability commissions and committees. Good luck.
Back to the committee.
All right, any comments? I will also point out that the evening session is canceled, so we'll go straight into land use from the agenda as well. Any comments? Oh, I guess I didn't look for hands here on this system. Hold on. Councilmember Jimenez.
Thank you. I'll move approval of the June 13th agenda with changing the start time from 1:30 to 11 and closed session from 9:30 to 9.
Second.
I just think there's a lot going on. So
Yeah.
And I assume we'd want to make time certain for ceremonials still at 1:30 as part of that.
Yeah, that seems reasonable.
Okay, so any other comments, or we'll move to a vote? Let's vote. All right, motion carries 4-0. All right, that brings us to consent calendar for today's meeting. I think there's 4 items on consent, so we'll start with public comment.
Blair?
Hi, Blair Beekman. Thank you very much for the letters and public comment and public record today. I wanted to comment. I had 2 letters sent to you. One is about, I tried making speeches on it all last week and I didn't do a very good job. But, because of the SJPOA things that are going on with fentanyl distribution, state and local and federal police have been really pounding on, local distributors and distributors at the border. There's a whole slew of programs going on to really disrupt fentanyl distribution at this time. But I think it's doing something uncomfortable and possibly creating violent crime situations for, distributors, local outlaw distributors, that I think we really have to consider. And I keep trying to offer, we need to consider how to review our own internal selves and our institutions that promote and distribute fentanyl, like the police, like our medical systems, and do a better review of that process rather than a full-on onslaught of attacking outlaw distributors at this time. I think if we take a slower approach with them, something can more naturally develop to eventually ask them to stop. And we concentrate more fully on institutional use and distribution. Good luck in those efforts. I think it's important. My other letter is about Measure E issues that I just wanted to really thank yourselves that you guys are really trying to work towards a middle road. And that is just, it's very nice to hear. I think Bob Brownstein's ideas have taken root in a way, and that Measure E actually can be a sustainable way to work, and we can work with Measure E already in place and add Mayhem's ideas to that. That's my understanding of what can be worked on at this time. Good luck in those sort of good efforts. Thank you very much.
Call-in user 1.
Yes, hi, Martha O'Connell, GSMOL. There is a letter in the public record that I am not going to release into the mobile home community because if I did, it would cause widespread terror and stress. Some people in the mobile home community have been displaced more than once, and they don't want to hear that there might be an initiative to vote out rent control. This gentleman had written a similar letter in 2017, and in that letter, he was delighted to report that he had argued against rent control in Capitola. And Capitola has not had rent control for some time. The seniors in Capitola were given notices that they were getting a 56% rent increase. 56%. In 4 months, the City Council of Capitola studied, drafted, and passed a rent control ordinance. That happened last week. So I'm pleased to report that Capitola now has rent control. If the rent control is voided, you are going to displace tens of thousands of people that live in the mobile homes. So I encourage you never to consider this option. He also attacks the, quote, ugly manifestation of mobile home park zoning. We are asking again that that be done. I've heard from planning it is going to be done. Please, if the City Council of Capitola can in 4 months draft, study, and pass a rent control ordinance, we can get the mobile home parks in San Jose redesignated. Thank you.
Back to the committee.
All right, thank you. Is there a motion for on the consent calendar?
Move approval.
Second.
All right, let's vote. All right, motion carries 4-0. So that brings us to open forum.
Blair,
Hi, Blair Beekman. Thanks for those words from Martha O'Connell. It was very interesting and helpful to hear. Thank you. Also, just a hi to Paul Soto. An interesting agenda is coming up. I think Paul would be interested in. It just reminded me of him. I thought I mentioned his name. And thank you in considering that you'll be inviting new bicycle tech into the city at this time. A real good reminder that I hope we can remember the ideas of working hand in hand in the future of public safety and open accountability. That working together, that's the collective future and holistic future that I hope we want to develop and think about and work towards. So good luck in those efforts. I guess with my remaining time, I wanted to offer, that you guys had you had a special council meeting last Friday, I think, or Thursday, and you talked about shifting money from federal relief dollars, the remaining federal relief dollars from the COVID era, into a special fund that will be within a police budget. And I felt that was, I totally understand your thinking, and it was sensible and safe and everything, but I think we can really do better than that. And I just wanted to thank yourselves that you offered a public meeting space here at this budget time. So as a whole community process, we can review other choices that, the fire department, the housing department, those are places where you can store money and feel that it's safe and it's not going to be used or built, invested in ways that are going to create more war, basically. I'm really disappointed. There's really safe practices to work in those good terms in housing and fire department. Learn to work towards those ways.
call-in user 1.
Yeah, this is Martha O'Connell again, GSMOL. I wanted to address the Winchester Ranch issue. I need to share with you that Ryan Juzinski, who represents the park owners on the Housing Commission, and I, who represented the residents for 8 years, do not believe that the Winchester Ranch solution is a panacea. And in fact, we both agree that it is a one-off that is not going to be repeated in other mobile home parks in San Jose. And I'm a little bit concerned that I think some folks, perhaps in the housing department and elsewhere, are pushing this. It is not true. And Ryan and I would be more than happy to meet with any council member who wants to find out more about this issue. I did talk to him around 1 o'clock this afternoon and asked him if I could make these statements. And he agreed, and we are both open to having a meeting with anyone on council or staff members who want to know why the Winchester Ranch model is a one-off. Thank you.
Back to the committee.
All right, we are adjourned at 2:22. Thank you.